to the knockout stage. Just send it to MSI Cooldown.
Welcome to MSI Cooldown. After our last day of groups, I'm Dracos, joined by Spawn and Mark Z, and I want to start this segment by condemning Vedius. You can't just sell out a team when they lose every time.
You think Vedius is condemning people? What are those shoes?
I'm allowed to wear what I want. I've seen your shoes.
I don't think we're allowed to wear what we want because I would look very different.
Okay,
There'd be
look,
pajamas.
What you want is sweatpants and pajamas every day, so
Yes.
it's a little different, all right? It's a little
So
different.
it's not exactly what we want.
I'm checking it out on program right. I'm blind.
You're right.
They're very white.
Righteous. Well, anyway, as we just saw, SKT came out on top in our last game of groups. The first loss for IG at MSI 2019. Now, the LCK champions had already secured second place, so while Team Liquid advanced to the semifinals with their win against G2, pushing the LEC champions down to third place. And now, gentlemen, IG versus SKT, pretty incredible game. Do you think this is the preview of our finals?
Most likely, but I will say I think G2 versus SKT is still a potentially good matchup for G2 because they do a lot of interesting things. They are very aggressive, and we've seen SKT sometimes lose to that. It does feel like they are ramping up, like we've been saying, so maybe they'll overcome G2.
And not just that, right? No one's pretending that if PvP played G2 right now in a best of 5, that
It's a close match?
PvP would win.
Close
Even
match?
though in both of the group stage games, Fongfu Buffalo were able to beat G2. So much in the same vein, I don't think that you could really use all that much of the game. So I still think, IG would handily beat them if that was the finals. In saying that, I am looking forward to the semis and how IG select.
I'm curious to see what they do as well, but you brought up PvP, and I do want to give one last hurrah. Of course, this is the end of MSI 2019 for the Flash Wolves and PvP, the representatives of the LMS and the VCS, respectively.
Sadly, my two teams are gone. The LMS representative, the hometown heroes in Fongfu Buffalo, but I think that they can be really proud of how this tournament went for a couple of reasons, especially on the side of Fongfu. As we keep mentioning, I think they've definitively shown that they are the best emerging region coming out. They tested teams. They were able to pick up 2 victories over the LEC representative in G2 Esports, and at different times. Just the way they played the game was electric, and it looked like it was challenging other major regions on Summoner's Rift.
I mean, even going back to as far as the play-in stage, it's been a long road for them. They were contested in Group A. They had to play a tiebreaker to get out. They went 5 games in the knockout stage of play-ins, and then they come into here and they 2-0 G2, and they almost G2A,
whatever. I mean, we're getting there.
I'm saying that they had a really long tournament and they did very well over the course of it.
I agree. And then on the flip side, you got to have a look at the Flash Wolves because we said this is a different LMS representative coming out. A lot of people thought maybe AHQ, maybe Mad Team, who led the league, would be the representative. And I think Flash Wolves have done a very good job at this MSI. I don't think this was a team that was ever expected to, make the same waves as they have in the past, but they've certainly performed admirably. And I think new players like Xiaoxi actually proved that on the international stage they're competitive.
I mean, looked very good. I'm actually excited to see how these teams develop moving forward, assuming that they do qualify for Worlds. I want to see if we see Flash Wolves level up and be the contender in the past that the previous iterations of Flash Wolves was. But as we move through the day, of course, earlier today, at the start of the day, we asked you to submit your haikus summarizing the MSI group stage. Here are some of our favorites. I'll start with this one from Pinnacle KM. Are you ready? Oh man. IG, play for fun. The group stage is almost done. Faker, here he comes. Ooh, brilliant.
You had a pretty great game.
That's like a prediction.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
We got these
It
cards
also
before
rhymes,
the game's ended.
It also rhymes, which is fantastic. And not
Haikus don't need to rhyme.
They don't need to rhyme. I'm just saying that's
overachieving.
They do, however,
super
have
overachieving.
7 syllables in the last line.
Don't tell Cloud9 that. They got theirs real wrong. They got like 7 syllables in the first, 12 in the last.
Look, it's a bit of a struggle. Now, there are more haikus coming. At Zyfrante had faith in hometown favorites. And despite their exit, this haiku is next level.
Mr. Buffalo, don't underestimate him. Stampede is coming and going, apparently. As they're eliminated.
They're already where they're from Vietnam. The tournament's in Vietnam. Where are they going?
Well, now they're just staying.
Yeah,
they're chilling. They didn't
Stampede
want
is
to go to
staying,
Taipei.
is what I'm
Now
saying.
they're just
What's
hanging out.
happening?
Stampede is staying here.
And there's some logistical errors on the travel there.
Exactly. I'm confused.
It's been a long day. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little loose right now, friends. And the final one is from our broadcast writer, Elias, who totally predicted Team Liquid's win over G2 and has now shoehorned himself into the segment.
He wrote himself in to make me read it?
Go, Mark, go.
I gotta wait for the graphic. All right, here we go. At TL's lowest, when NA fandom goes dry, they find Oasis.
Oh, that is terrible. Never do that.
We are one like black and white image with a cheesy quote away from like being a generic Instagram post.
By the way, like,
Snaps for
sure.
well done, everybody.
Snaps up for Elias. And of course, thank you everyone who participated. Thank you so much for sending us your haikus on Twitter. And he brought up a good point, because TL have restored the faith. TL have found their Oasis, and they found that Oasis by beating the crap out of G2. My God, what a one-sided game.
and much like Brett from Flight of the Conchords, TL had it going on in this game. They were everywhere on Summoner's Rift. Their jungler, Smithy especially, stepping up on the job and 1v1 caps. That was a great performance.
It was the perfect redemption game for North American fans if you're just waking up. Smithy had a great game. The drafts were good. Jensen clowned on Caps, so we got to reverse the, like, maybe stick to Lissandra memes.
Yeah.
Like, everything that fans wanted. Double Lift smashed in lane. He was up, like, 25 CS, ended up 70 CS, like, 20 minutes into the game. So, like, this was, if a NA fan was writing their fan fiction, this is what the game was like.
I'm just going to say, I assume at this point we've just collectively decided that Jensen definitely said back to Lissandra to Caps.
Yeah.
Even if he never said it, we can all just agree as a group, as a society, as a fandom, that it happened.
But unfortunately, when there's every like hero has to have a villain, if you're an NA fan, that's going to be G2. They go 0-3 in the last 3 games that they played in groups after such a promising start, after so much hype generated this team. Did peter off a little bit. In saying that, I think best of 5 suits this team even more than best of 1. So I'm still pretty hot on them. I think that they're going to make waves as this tournament progresses.
I think that's definitely true. I think based off where they were 2 or 3 days ago, like finishing 5-5 does feel like a disappointment. It is coming back down to earth a little bit. But to your point, like in a best of 5 where people have to adapt and they get the chances to see what other teams are doing, I think all those players are so smart that like they will come in with more stuff prepared and make better adaptations than most teams.
And they're just mirroring the LEC season, you know, out to a great start. Then they drop that game versus Origin. But then ask Martin how well, you know, best of 5s versus this team.
Yeah, we can talk about it. They were losing games to Fnatic, they were losing games to Misfits, and then what do you see?
Then TL becomes Origin and get 3-0'd in the knockout stage.
Well, luckily they can't immediately play. We'll see each other in finals.
That's
Is that
right.
what you're planning
Yeah,
for?
that's right.
Yeah, when we meet in finals, we all say fingers crossed, hopefully, snap, snap. Well, after TL's win today, Shox did catch up with their top laner. Let's see what Impact had to say.
Thank you very much. I am here with Impact after Team Liquid qualifies for the next round of MSI. Impact, congratulations. After 2 years with the team and a lot of hard work, what does it mean to make it to the knockout phase of MSI?
Can I speak Korean actually? 일단 저희가 드디어 일단 MSI 작년 때 좀 많이 안 좋은 모습 보여주다가 그래도 지금도 별로 좀 많이 안 좋은 모습 가끔 나오긴 했는데 그래도 마지막엔 그래도 괜찮은 모습 보여준 것 같아서 다행인 것 같아요.
So it's really happy, especially because last year in MSI we were really doing really bad and bad performance. So, well, in the end, I mean, we were also underperforming in the beginning of the tournament, but in the end we were doing really great. So I'm really happy.
What, in your opinion, changed about the team and within the team that you played so well today versus G2?
그러면 어느 점이 좀 더 나아져서 오늘 G2 상대로 이렇게 좋은 경기력을 보여줄 수 있었나요?
일단 라인전을 안 터졌고요. 저희가 이겼고요. 일단 기본적으로 그게 진짜 중요했던 것 같고 그냥 초반에 저희가 이겨서 그냥 무난하게 굴렀던 것 같아요. 아무리 생각해도 초반이 너무 중요한 것 같고 저희 팀 약점이 집중 못하는 모습 많이 보여줄 때 많단 말이에요. 그거를 없앨 수 있는 게 초반에 집중을 많이 해가지고 이기는 거라 생각해가지고 집중을 많이 했는데 잘 됐던 것 같아요.
So first of all, we didn't get smashed in the laning phase. We actually won the lane. So I think that's the most important thing actually, because early game really matters. And also, the biggest weakness of my team is that we actually lose focus in the games. So I think paying attention in early games really helps us a lot. So I think that was the major key.
Okay, well, good identification of what needs to go better. But Impact, I do want to talk about you because the whole tournament, win or lose, you have played so incredibly well, playing almost everyone, doing very well, even in losing games. How do you look back on your performance so far?
그러면 이제 MSI 내내 승패와 상관없이 정말 좋은 경기력을 보여주셨는데 그럼 이번에 MSI 개인적인 그런 경기력에 대한 평가는 어떤가요?
만족은 못 하고 있었는데 왜냐면 제가 와 내가 다 이겼다 이런 느낌 아니어서 일단 배울 점도 많고 다른 탑한테도 제가 와 내가 1등이다 이런 느낌 만들어가지고 만족은 못 하고 있어요. 그래도 나쁘지 않게 했는데 더 잘할 수 있을 것 같은 느낌?
Well, I want to say I'm not fully satisfied because I'm not really like I want everybody. I'm still learning from a lot from other top laners, so I don't feel like I'm the #1 top laner here. But at the same time, I did not do that bad. I think I did fairly well, but I'm not like I did so well. I'm the best.
Okay, so gonna get even better. Then tell me about the knockout phase now. Now the best of fives come. What do you think the chances are of Team Liquid in their best form versus the likes of SKT and IG or possibly G2?
그럼 이제 다음 라운드는 이제 다전제잖아요. 다전제에서 또 어떻게 더 나은 모습을 보여주실지 팀 리퀴드의 가능성은 어느 정도인지 궁금합니다.
일단 IG가 저희 찍으면 좀 많이 힘들다고 생각을 하는데 그래도 열심히 할 거고 그냥 저희는 그래도 개인적으로 G2가 가능성이 있다고 생각하죠. 왜냐면 G2가 잘한 팀이고 정말 메카닉이나 그런 거 실력도 좋은데 문제는 거기도 한 번 죽으면 계속 죽는 팀 많아요. 팀원들이. 그래서 그걸 멘탈 수집을 못하는 것 같고 그래서 G2가 가능성이 가장 높고 이길 가능성이 그나마 그다음에 SK 그다음에 IG 순인 것 같아요.
So if IG picks us, it's gonna be really hard. But I think we have a very good chances up against G2 because actually, I mean, they're all good players. Their mechanics are really good. But at the same time, when they start dying, they just die consecutively in games. So I think we have a very high chance up against them, and then SKT, and then followed by IG.
Okay, yeah, G2 would be, of course, down the line. But thank you very much, Impact. Congratulations. Thank you, Jisun, as well. And now over to MSI Cooldown.
First semifinal is now coming up this Friday. Thank you, Sharks, for that one. IG will be taking on Team Liquid. I'm sorry, Impact, it happened. Followed by SKT's matchup against G2 the day after. Now the winners will advance to the final and battle it out on Sunday for the MSI 2019 title. Now, Spawn, when you look at this, when you see Invictus Gaming almost snap-picking TL, keep in mind they had 30 minutes to do it and they did it in like 5, so clearly they knew what they want. What is your immediate reaction?
Mild shock.
There's any shock?
That was like no shock.
Yeah, that was like.
I'm sorry, man.
Deadpan.
I thought that they were going to do you a real.
I wanted at
solid
least
and
surprise
take
Pikachu, and I feel like you were like meh.
There's like the thing that like you're trying to tell yourself was like they're gonna increase the
Yeah.
chance that they see SKT to the highest because they can't pick them. So you pick G2 because there's no way Team Liquid beats SKT. So then you're guaranteed.
I feel like it's very clear that the coaches were the ones making the decision on this and not Rookie.
They
Rookie's
did
like,
not-
give me
they did
go.
not ask the players at all. That's why it took 5 minutes. They didn't head back to the locker room. They
This
just
is
instantly
literally
were
our
like,
backstage. Like, give us this guy. It's already locked.
yeah.
All right, well, G2 with an extra day to reset. The big question is, can they take down SKT? Remember, the stakes are up, the pressure is up. It's been, I would say, very shaky for G2 the last few days. I feel like Perks and Mithy have been getting kind of blasted in the last few games, and the whole team really felt lost in that TL game.
Yeah, I think there are some problems with the team, but it's like you kind of take the good with the bad, I think, with G2, where like you can't expect them to play Pyke and make crazy stuff happen if you're not willing to accept when they sometimes try to dive a turret with Corki and get juked 3 times and miss all their skill shots and die. Like those are the same, that's the same coin, it's just different sides showing up. So like I think they do play super aggressive and I want that against SKT. I think that, you know, if they have a bad game, I don't want to see Perks and Mickey go to Ezreal Tom Kench again. I don't think that's really their style. Like they should be on playmakers. Mickey's so good at starting fights.
Yeah, and you're just really hoping that Clitter's cooled off in a couple of days break because you don't want to get him in the form that he just showed against the Invictus Gaming lineup. I think that is going to be the telltale matchup. If they get Clid playing good, I think that this is an exciting matchup. I think if they get Clid playing great, it becomes a very SKT-favored series.
Which I'm kind of surprised about, given how SKT entered the tournament. I was very skeptical, but Papa Smithy ended up being right. They have been ramping up. They have been looking
The thing
better.
is that Clid is like their entire early game. You saw that game play. He just visited all the lanes and was starting to take over. This is a guy that in the LPL was doing the same things. And whilst Papa did mention that he had never beaten Invictus Gaming, he had already had great matches against both IG and RNG. So there was no question of the caliber of this player in the hectic scenario that the game was being played.
That's true. And the other thing I think that has helped unlock Clid even more is it's no longer Sonateric. It's no longer Azir in the mid lane, the Aurelia, the LeBlancs, all these more aggressive champions. Even the Ryze in some ways has better
Faker's
setup.
Rise.
Yeah, like Faker's Rise is so good. So like I like that they have given more tools to the people around Clid, so Clid can just go and show up in these lanes and win them for his team.
Well, I'm excited to see how it shapes up. Well, of course, you can watch IG versus TL from 3 a.m. Pacific time on Friday. That is 12 p.m. Central European Summer Time, with cooldown starting 30 minutes before. Now, for myself, the casters, the entire broadcast team, thank you for watching, and we'll see you on Friday for the first semifinal. Good night.
I like my dinosaur socks.
Yeah, I got luchador cats. SKT facing down Team Liquid. One spot remaining. Team Liquid fighting for their lives, fighting for the final spot in that bracket stage, in those playoffs. For North America to fall flat here would be a massive disappointment to the LCS player base. Forcing out the Devour, Tomcat tries to flash out to safety, spits him right back out. Double flash for his life. Core JJ may just be the sacrificial catfish here. Taunt connects, and he will now go down. The thick scan buys a bit of time, but it is not enough. SKT still gonna look to close out with confidence. Teddy gonna grab a kill. Galio into the back line, powered up by the Lee Sin. Double lift immediately deleted. It is an absolute slaughter. Just delete the wave, but now wants to step forward. Caps on the backside, though. Just deletes Big Koro.
No flash anyone, no flash anyone.
I flash out, I flash out.
Anyone, no flash anyone.
Okay, I go Varus.
Yeah.
Coming.
No flash, no
You
flash.
can penta. One more. Nice.
Shut down onto Wonder, steals the ulti away, dashes to the side. Beautiful footwork, and now it's Yanko's in trouble. Allen with the predict, ignited, and goodbye to Caps, goodbye to G2's hopes in this game. The dream is alive and well. The race for fourth is very much alive after that Fong Blue Buffalo, and for Flash, this game is hugely important. Betty now trying to fire back in the trade. The Ignite comes out. That is a big Acathian rain on the way in, but the Gyro Jungler's here as well. If Nick tries to commit, he may go down too. Boogie gonna get the knockup, and another kill going down for Flash Wolves.
Hanabi might die.
Hanabi taking so much damage, forced to smite the Baron here. Boogie now in trouble as well. Can they secure the shutdown? The Baron going to fall to IG. Absolute disaster for the Flash Wolves.
Here comes Big Koro. The allure by some piercing arrow secures a kill for Big Koro. Killista throws it down. Rada will sidestep the chain of corruption of Flash Wolves. They've created the chaos. Now they're looking for the re-engage. Boogie is trying to turn this around. That's one, that's two. But to stay alive, Khan will find one onto Ning. Now on the defensive retreat. That burst damage. Bowline is blown up, and now Rookie gets knocked up into the air by the Fisher. Invictus Gaming are aced by SK Telecom.
IG Wrath was Swift. Silas is not good blind. Fourth, paid by Steve.
That bottom tower is going on. Jensen gets the solo kill onto Caps.
Oh my god, Jensen's popping off. Like, I need to stay calm.
He's already flashed, now he's belt. Ignite is ticking down. Here comes Impact. Chronobelt forward. That should be enough to take out Caps.
I'm out.
Let 80 dead.
Double lift, and Team Liquid advance to the semi-finals.
What a turnaround for Team Liquid.
I don't think it could have been any more perfect. Thank you guys, and, hopefully we'll crush it in the knockout stage.